strong in the room. That's crazy. So if you were like not one of the 10 people who just saw what just happened, we basically went for 10 minutes just now talking about whatever the hell these Giannis rumors. Me no audio going on like an 8-minute rant, and then realizing the chat coming in telling us that nobody heard anything. So we are back in the room. Let me reset this entire thing. We are live. It's the Guru Truck. I was the third.
Justin.
Cream City crossover, doing what we do. If you didn't know, I lost my Twitch. So we're only streaming right now on YouTube because I lost for whatever. I don't know if I got hacked. I don't know what the hell happened.
Pacer fans got you.
I got suspended like I'm in the WNBA arguing with the commissioner. I remember that one. I don't know what happened. I'm gone. So while we figure that out, we're only streaming on YouTube right now. Impromptu live. We're just coming off these Giannis rumors. Wanted to talk about them for a second. Again, get at us in the chat. We'll talk about it. We'll get into some things here. But again, I just want to address it. This is preseason for us. I think we'll be on Thursday with the real show here. Obviously, we're all geared up. Brewers doing what they do, up 2-0. What's the score of the Yankees game right now? It's tied still.
6-6.
6-6.
Bottom of the fifth.
You got
Aaron Judge went crazy.
You got the Packers doing what they're doing. So I get a lot of things going on. But again, we just woke up this morning like everybody else and had to talk about, had to address, had to think about the story that doesn't die, that won't end, this Giannis wants out narrative, this discussion, this talk, and a lot of people going a lot of different ways with it. So Shams, of course, early this morning, 7 a.m., he dropped one of those pre-scripted kind of things where he was all done and tidied up last night. So he sent it out fresh at 7 a.m. And essentially what he says is, again, and this is my opinion, to me, there wasn't a ton of new news. I know a lot of people went crazy with it, but there wasn't a lot. I think he was grasping at straws. I really do. And I know we're supposed to believe that where there's smoke, there's fire, and maybe there is some. But when you peel this back, Shams really doesn't tell you much that we didn't already know, and the things that he does tell you, I'm not understanding. Like they contradict certain things, and certain things don't make sense, and it doesn't. So let's just break down, for a second here, what Shams was talking about. So what he basically says is that in July, the Milwaukee Bucks had a meeting. John Horst flew to Greece, talked with Giannis. Giannis and his representation tell John Horst, I don't know about this team that you put together. Now, again, the other tidbit that Shams throws in there is something that I don't believe at all to be true. That the Milwaukee Bucks, and this is some reason why I don't believe some of this story, that the Milwaukee Bucks made the move to acquire Miles Turner and stretch and waive Damian Lillard without Giannis's approval. Like he had no clue what happened. He just woke up and Dame's on the team and Miles Turner is on the team. And the interesting piece about that, Justin, is we heard when it took place that Giannis was extremely happy to play with Miles Turner. So something there doesn't make sense. Remember, that was also the rumor that Giannis didn't know anything about Dame being traded to the Bucks and had no clue that Jrue Holiday was going. Again, I guess I just don't believe all this, but that's fine. So that's what Shams says. And then I guess the bigger news out of that meeting, where he doesn't know, you still want to win championships, but you don't know if this team is good enough. The bigger news out of that meeting is that Giannis, the only team that he thinks he may want to go to and talk about, some audio. The only team that he's thinking about. What's going on with this audio every time?
You want me
I think it's something with your. I think it's your AirPods. Okay. The only thing that I don't know what's happening. The only thing, then the thing that breaks it out apart is the fact the only team that Giannis is willing to go to is the New York Knicks. That's it. That's the only place he can go is the Knicks. By the way, I just saw someone on Twitter not that long ago that said Giannis and his reputation are now working on framework, which again, I don't know why today would be any different than a couple weeks ago or the week before. Like, I don't understand why on October the 7th, this is now the time for Giannis to try to figure all this stuff out. But that this framework is now dropping for him to think about what teams may be able to acquire him at the deadline. And so I guess, so like I said, so the biggest thing there is that the Bucks then take a call from the Knicks and nothing really materializes. The Knicks realize they don't have the assets and the Bucks tell them, hey, you don't have the assets and that's it. And the crazy part about that, Justin, and I want to get your thoughts, the crazy part about all that is the New York Knicks, who we were told were monitoring, they've been looking at, they've been monitoring Giannis for at least 2 or 3 years, probably back to 2019. They've been monitoring him for that long. And somehow, finally, this year, it all comes together where Giannis is, he's Statue of Liberty. He's all coming to America. He sees the promised land. And I can see myself. You know what? I can see myself in the bright lights of New York City. I can see it. That's what he's looking at. And all of a sudden, after all this monitoring, the Knicks go, yeah, I think I like what we got. That doesn't add up. Something does not. Nuts. I get it. Smoke, fire. Some of this does not pass the smell test. And again, the only other thing I have to say this is that's the most you got on October 2nd. So the Bucks had this conversation with Giannis in July. The Bucks and the Knicks somehow had these conversations that led to nowhere in August. And somehow Shams, who's been peddling and pimping this story since the end of last year, doesn't know about it or doesn't report on it until October the 7th. It took you 3 months to tell us. It took Shams 3 months to tell us that the Bucks and Knicks were on a call and they got nothing. They didn't get in. Well, they got close. They got nothing. The Knicks don't have anything to give. So again, I guess I'm just confused by it all. Justin, make some of this make sense for me, please. Oh, and now I don't have your audio. This is a killer. This is just to all preseason stuff that we got going on. Oh man, okay. Well, we'll see if we can get Justin back. But I mean, I'm just not understanding.
How we doing now?
Oh, there we go. You had it, and then you had it. I heard you for like 2 seconds, and then you went away. All right, so let me know when you get there. While I try to get Justin's audio back, and it's an entire mess. Let me go to the chat. Let me see. D'Angelo Ross says, my thoughts on it. No thoughts. Giannis gonna do what he do. I respect whatever decision he makes. You see, Tish says, glad to have you all back. D'Angelo says, Shams is a character. Todd says, 7-6 Yankees now. Okay. And let's see. Tish says, Shams is trying to save face. Todd says, the conversation makes more sense next year when he's a year from free agency. And yeah, I'd agree with that. And again, I'd also agree with the fact, like, to me, this conversation we're talking about making sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Like if there was a year he's gonna leave, it's this year. I heard Kendrick Perkins is on ESPN. Giannis is scared to make a trade, or he's scared to ask out. And again, I think it's a tough situation when you're looking for and you're wanting and you want to see a potential for Giannis to ask out. But again, if there's a time to do it, it's now. This is the roster where it's like, what do you got? What you got going on? This is the roster that you do that with. Again, I guess my whole thing is the timeline does not make sense from Shams. It really doesn't, and it shows me he doesn't know what he doesn't know what he has going on. I think he's getting information. I wonder where he's getting the information from, because, and I'll say this, I don't believe it serves anyone to leak this stuff. I don't. And Justin, you jump in whenever you get your audio. I don't know if we can get it. You let me know if you jump in this and it's working. I can see. I'm trying to get you going while I do this, but I guess that none of this. Yeah, I'm not getting you. None of this makes sense to me. And I'm at a loss. I don't understand it, and I don't understand, as I was saying there, I don't understand who this makes look good. I don't. Again, from everything I've heard about Giannis, I don't believe he leaks things. Now, that's not to say that somebody from Octagon or somebody's representation, I don't believe he leaks things. I don't think this makes him look good. That he sat in Greece all summer, sat around, didn't really push anything, and now as the season approaches, you start to ramp up pressure on the organization. I don't think that looks good, so I don't think this leak comes from him. I don't think the Bucks have any reason to leak that they talked to Giannis and that he didn't like their roster, had questions about the roster, and then you get to now, or excuse me, August, and you have this conversation with the Knicks, and you picked up the phone and talked to him. I don't think this makes the Bucks look good either. Like, why would they leak? I don't see it. The Knicks, I think it makes them look completely foolish if they were to have leaked any of this. That looks insane. That, again, you had the opportunity to get Giannis, and you didn't come close to doing it because you spent all of your picks acquiring Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. You spent all of your assets on those guys. So I don't think this looks particularly good for them either. I don't know why they would have wanted to do such a thing. I'm gonna try to connect Justin back in here. Let's see because I see him. Let me see if I can pop him in and see if we can get some audio from him here. Justin, golly, it's killing me. I don't understand. Another one I don't understand. I don't understand this. I don't understand audio. This is preseason. It's preseason. It's preseason work. But yeah, to your point. But yeah, as I was saying, that none of this, it doesn't look good on either of these parties to me to have wanted to leak any of this information. Now, again, I think everybody's obsessed with, well, it has to come from somewhere, and leaks mean that leaks do come from places, but I don't think they always mean that like somebody has some type of agenda that they want to get out. I'm telling you, people just like to talk. I'm telling you, there are people who just like to talk and share information and spread information. That's what they do. But yeah, so for all three angles and of course you have Pat Riley who comes in and says, well, if Giannis was asked, yeah, I would have got in on it too. Yeah, all right. You're asleep. We know you're asleep at the wheel. So it just leaves me at a place where, and I understand Bucks fans' frustrations that like I think Bucks fans want people to stop the rumors, which they're not going to stop. I think there's some people who are squarely in this camp of, okay, Shams is saying it now, it's true, and it really means something. And then there's some people who are like me. I'm much more skeptical that this happens this year. I don't think Giannis is asking at the deadline. Are you kidding me? Like again, you lose the whole shtick of I'm Mr. Loyal if you try to get if you force a trade at the deadline. I don't see it. I just don't see it. It doesn't make sense to me. So again, I'm not saying that Shams is lying. I don't think Shams is lying. I think he does have sources that tell him things. But what this did do, this article to me, what it did was it gave him the opportunity to push this back further. That's all it did. That's all it did was give him the opportunity to run this back even further. Because remember, it was supposed to be the biggest offseason of all time. And then it was, okay, now it's not the offseason. Now it's going to be, well, let's see what happens here. Now we're at the start of the season, and now with this conversation, Giannis is looking for this, and now he's laying the groundwork for this, and he was talking to the Knicks. He doesn't like the roster. Now you've set forward this march of, well, he may not be a buck at the deadline. So I mean, let's again, I'm not accusing Shams of lying. I'm just saying we've gone from Giannis can be traded at any moment to, well, let's see what the team looks like at the start of the year and take it to the deadline. And again, I just don't see, unless the Bucks are, I mean, literally 10 games under 500, not gonna make the playoffs. Is Giannis leaving the deadline? I don't see it. I don't see it. Tish says we have a very good roster. Just because they don't have big flashy names doesn't mean they will not be elite at their position. Team is built in Giannis' likeness. I don't know. I don't know if I call the roster very good. I don't know that I call it that. Tish says I think there's gonna be a mission to get Giannis out of Milwaukee. This is bigger than just what's best for him. There's more to why they're trying to force him to request a trade. Yeah, no, there's definitely a concerted effort from the big city elite media. And yeah, they're pushing for it. There's no question about it. They're pushing for it. Justin, I'm still trying to get you. I don't know what's happening, dog. I don't know. You were fine. Yeah, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see it. But yeah, no, I none, like, again, at the end of the day, to me, none of this makes sense. That's really where I'm going with it. None of it makes sense. And again, I'm not saying Shams lying. I just think it's an opportunity to continue pushing and peddling and moving this story along. And time will tell. I want to get to that other, like I said, because I won't be long on here. I want to get to that other piece. I want to get to that other piece. I don't know. I want to get to that other piece. Yeah, Todd said, this is the piece Todd's talking about. Any truth to Mariah and his kids living full-time in Athens? That was the other rumor that came out, right? That he's now living in Athens. Oh, okay. Oh, there's some audio from Justin. Yeah, one sec. Hold on. I gotta put you in the actual stream though. But I do have you. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming in like 2 seconds.
There it is.
There it is. All right, go. All right.
There it is.
There it is. Okay.
There it is.
All right. I've been yapping for like 20 minutes here. Justin, please, I need to catch a breath. So please give me some thoughts here, some perspective on what you're hearing these rumors.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Sorry about my phony audio. It's about as phony as Shams' hairline is. Shams, whatever that dude name is. We ain't gonna call you a bum. We just gonna call you not it. You up here stewing up this garbage, this malarkey, this trash bucket reporting. Bro, just take your L. I was almost about to jinx this tomorrow. Just take your L and fly it. That's it. Giannis isn't leaving yet. When he does leave, I know you're going to come back like Nostradamus. I was the guy that broke it, blah, blah, blah. But right now, you're grasping for straws right now. He is too invested into this Milwaukee community. We got to remember, this dude isn't like you or I, Trey, that grew up in these American cities. His family wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have no Mariah had it not been for the Milwaukee Bucks and that ownership group. He wouldn't have kids being raised in these cities. He wouldn't live in River Hills, allegedly. It's just so much. Oh, by the way, he's a minority owner of the up 2-0 Milwaukee Brewers, by the way. And I know we saw the other guy that was from a little bit north of Milwaukee, that was a Bucks minority owner get let to a different city. But I'm not saying all that. I just feel like this is a bad case of the dude that doesn't understand that they got an L, and he's going to keep coming back and keep coming back until he can get a W. We all seen that guy, right? Trey, I know you were at Howard University. You saw that guy. Y'all would go out there on Georgia Avenue?
Yeah. Georgia Ave,
Yeah.
14th Street, all that. Yes, sir.
Y'all be out there on Georgia Avenue. Homie'd have one too many tequilas, pull the hat down low. He said, I'm going home with anybody. It could be Precious or it could be Ashanti. Ain't no in between. I don't care. We going home with it. That's what I feel Shams is doing today, man. Is there credibility that Giannis may leave the Bucks? I think there's absolutely some value there, but do I think it's right now? No, I don't. Does Giannis have a reason to leave the Bucks? I don't know. You mentioned it. You don't buy Damian Lillard out if Giannis isn't coming back.
Yeah.
Trish mentioned it in the chat. If he recruited Miles to come to the mill, why are you leaving the mill if I'm recruiting you, brother? Right? I think that he played a cognizant role in having Gary Trent Jr. come back and Kevin Porter Jr. Those guys aren't going to be all-stars without Giannis. So I think we're in a unique situation. I think Shams is trying his best to be a reporter. I think like what those folks were mentioning in the chat, that we're trying to grasp for straws and get Giannis out of Milwaukee as far as the national reporters. I feel like that's absolutely the case. But do I feel like it has any value right now? No. We'll revisit it hopefully when the contract runs out. I do not think he will leave Milwaukee until it's there. I had a conversation with a certain somebody that I shared in our group chat. We won't share all the details, but we'll share some of it. He was very vested in Giannis and Milwaukee. You know what I'm talking about, right? Cross street from the arena. Kind of let the cat out the bag. There would be no Antetokounmpo store in the Marriott across the There would be no Deer District without Giannis. I think Giannis appreciates that. I think that Antetokounmpo brand appreciates that. And his brand is what it is. And you're not going to have that brand have the same valor and meaning if you just tuck your tail and run to New York. And then, furthermore, sorry, Trey, now I'm talking.
No, you're good.
I'm going crazy. So it was Brooklyn, right? Then old Skeezer Riley. Is that okay to say that? I don't want to.
Yeah.
He gets in the mix after he had his insure and his rest of his senior citizen meals. Like, I mean, Pat is the most. I'm all over the. Look, I don't think Giannis leaving. That's what I'm gonna get down to. I don't think he's going nowhere. If he goes somewhere, it's gonna hurt my heart, like it's gonna hurt a lot of our hearts, man. Hey, man, what are we doing, man? Shams, just take the L, man. Say you don't have more information right now. Let's move
on. There's a couple things I want to get to. I wanted to get to Todd's question first, where he says this. He asked about, that's what we're getting at before your audio came in, and I wanted to get your thoughts, but let's get to Todd's. He says, any truth to Mariah and the kids living full-time in Athens? So, interesting thing is that rumor came out basically after Shams' article dropped. A little bit later, this rumor comes out of Greece that Giannis has moved his kids and his family to to his place in Greece, and he's rolled his kids in Athens at school. And the thought process being that Giannis basically play basketball in America, and Mariah and the kids will come visit him, whenever, but they won't live here in the States. I personally find that hard to believe with Giannis. And then Giannis comes out and basically says, stop telling these lies. You're endangering my family. But it was interesting because he didn't downright say, and again, I am getting to that point with Giannis but I do see the other side. I see the side of, I can't answer every single rumor that comes up because people are going to make things up no matter what. So I totally get that piece. But again, I also don't think it helps that you go out on media day and say, hey, did you have a meeting with Wes Edens? I don't recall. And again, Giannis, this is the only thing I say, bless you. Only thing I say to Giannis is, and I do believe he's a low-key guy at heart, at its core. He doesn't want to be in the forefront of all this. I'm telling you, the Bucks should really be doing some negative recruiting here. And I'm saying, hey, you want to go to New York? Times 10. This rumor mill times 10. You better enjoy. I should say that Eric name. He ain't gonna ask you no questions about where you going. They gonna ask you. You go to New York. They gonna ask you questions. The credentialed media in Milwaukee, not all of them, the majority of them are afraid. It's funny. It's actually harder. It's actually harder. So I give Eric Name a break, a pass. It is harder to be a beat reporter, to be on the beat in Milwaukee. I think people think it's easier because you're competing with less people. I think people believe that it's easier to get that access and have those conversations. Now, again, why he doesn't get any rumors, I don't know. But to ask those hard questions, it is harder to do in a small market like Milwaukee. It's actually easier in New York and Philly and those big media markets because you have 50 other people around you and you can just go to town on guy and boom and you got somebody else who's going to ask a more ridiculous question than you are. And when you're there, everybody knows who you are. You ask a crazy question, they're gonna look at you crazy. Like you can't really hide. So I do think those guys have a hard job. I'll say that off top. But my point being is, you're not gonna get the same level of rumors and tabloids and all these things. They can't start talking about your family. They're so ready to talk about your family, and you haven't even played 1 second. You haven't even signed a contract with the Knicks, and they're ready to tell you where you live in and who you with and what you're doing. You want to go to New York? Go to New York and, hey, go to New York and shoot 3 of 11 from the free throw line in an important game and see how them folks talk about you. See, you don't like that? Again, I don't think he wants that. I do not think he wants that. I'm not saying he's not built for it. He's built for whatever. I don't think you want that. But again, my point in that before I got to that was Giannis would probably do himself some favors if he addressed some things. And my only thing is, Giannis, you're in year 13. You can't always play the happy-go-lucky, I tell dad jokes, and I'm naive to everything going on around me. Sir, you're 30. You're 30. You've been in the league for a long time. That doesn't acting as if you have no clue what's going on in the outside world does not work anymore. So I think it would be prudent for him to come out and address this and kind of really nip it in the bud. And again, you do it once, and if people want to run with anything after that, that's fine. But I think you come out and you say, "Hey, I'm focused on the Milwaukee Bucks." Again, that was my only problem at media day for Giannis. They ask him, are you they asked him kind of about these rumors, and he's like, "Yeah, I looked. I'm always looking to see where I want to go." Instead of, "Hey, I'm ready to come here. I'm happy to work with these young guys." That's the soundbite that gets out. So again, I think it's got to be much more, and it's about, I need to win a championship. All these are whether he believes it or not, he's signaling. You're messaging, and when you're giving those, you are fanning the flames. Whether you intend to or you don't, you're fanning those flames. And so again, it's totally up to him, but you're either leaning into this or you're worried about the team that you have in front of you, these young guys. That's all they got to say on Giannis. But again, on those rumors, a couple more things. And I know I'm starting to ramble too. On those rumors, I've heard actually both. I've heard in one instance, there's no way Giannis would ever leave his family and not have him in the States with him. And then I heard from somebody else who, again, not a source, but I heard somebody say that they heard from, so this is like third, fourth hand information. They heard from somebody they heard that, no, this is true. So on that, I have no idea. I really don't.
How many kids Giannis got?
Was it like 4? I don't know.
How do you make a baby?
Oh, you know how.
So if you got that many kids, that means you all your shots, they like your free throws. They all don't go in. And I can't see him the way he thinks about Mariah and leaving all that to go over to Greece, a bajillion miles away. You can't even fly her out. She's a day travel at least.
Yeah.
And it's only so much you can do on that FaceTime and that whatever. Giannis said it himself. I'm a freak on the court and I'm a freak in the sheets. He not having that woman go over there with them kids. And one thing about Giannis, and I mean, I'm not in his household, but he seems like a guy that really cares a lot about his children. I know how it is when I went through some of the stuff that I've went through personally, and when my kids are no longer in the same household with me, it's different.
Mm.
I don't see that to be true. If it is true, you could call me believing it when it comes to some credibility. The other thing that I wanted to say, Giannis has spoken, and he's spoken about this before. All this stuff was swirling about him in the media, and what did he do? He put on a Kendrick Lamar loyalty song and signed an extension. And I think Tish mentioned that in the comment as well, that he signed an extension the last time this was going on. But I just remember, so he's never wavered from his loyalty. So why is us as Bucks fans should waver from that? Because Shams and those guys got a job to do too. His job is to get clicks and to get someone to read his stuff and to follow the ESPN stuff. And he's doing his job a disservice if he does not drum up all this stuff. I agree with you that Giannis can come out and he can just simply, he didn't even say anything. Just put Kendrick on again and that's it. We understand what that means. Now, I would caution him about going to New York. We've seen a couple guys from the state of Wisconsin go to New York. I'll give you a couple of them. Brett Favre. I know it's different sports. How'd that work out for him?
Didn't.
Aaron Rodgers.
Didn't.
Devin Williams.
Didn't.
I don't know a buck. What, Tim Thomas?
Mm.
I mean, the point is, I mean, when Jay-Z and them talked about the city of bright lights, it's bigger lights. It's a lot more pressure on you in that city. It is, I mean, Milwaukee, and I love Milwaukee to death, but it's night and day different than what it is in Chicago with their media. Yep. Look at Craig Counsell now. He's down there getting peppered with questions left and right that he didn't get in Milwaukee. And you know, he can go on and go over there if he wants to. It's not going to be as sweet as what it is. And like you said, you're missing free throws, you're turning the ball over, if you're doing whatever, our media may forgive you. Hey, Giannis, what did you see? Yada, yada, yada. They're not forgiving you there. And your family's going to be under way more scrutiny than what it is here now.
Yep. No, 100%. There's actually, there's no question about that. So, again, so I don't know about these rumors he moved to Athens, but that's it. Bucks 920. I'm coping here, so rock with me. As long as the Nash is podcasting and on the Bucks, we're good. Again, I agree with that too. I think that was an excellent move. The Nash with the Bucks is huge. Again, I just don't see it. I don't see again. It goes back to the Athens point. He can't play more than 2 years without his brother, and he gonna send his family to Greece. I don't see it. I'm with you. I don't see it. So yeah, last the Greece thing, it's weird to me. It's weird to me as well. Tish, you asked a question, and I want to get into the game last night for a second. Tish asked a question. She said, Trey, do you not believe in the roster? It's not that I don't believe in the roster. I will say this about the roster. And I didn't watch the full game last night. I was watching the Brewers as well. We were kind of, I was watching football too. So I was kind of watching a lot of things at once. I thought it was good that Kuzma was the 4, which lets me know that the starting lineup looks like it's going to be KPJ, Gary Trent, AJ Green, Giannis, and Miles Turner. I thought Miles Turner looked athletic, looked good, blocked a couple shots. I liked it. Kuz looked like his normal self. Again, I thought KPJ looked really good. I thought Ryan Rollins looked really good in some spurts there. So again, the team looks. I will say this about the roster, Tish. It's young. It's springy. It's everything that we were looking for them to do. What I wish is they had done this 2 years ago, and you were building on a team that was 2 years into playing with Giannis and having all that experience as a young, youthful group that wants to fly around the court. But again, off rip, I think it was like the first couple of possessions. Gary Trent was on the floor diving for loose balls. Like that's what I want to see. Like from it, like that. There's a definitive difference in play style and what it looks like from an athletic standpoint on the floor. There's no question about that. And again, It's not that I don't try. I guess my question is, was it like playoff time? But I think regular season will be fine. Again, you know how I feel about the regular season. Justin, if you go out there and play hard, you'll win. If you go out there, the NBA is so easy. If you play hard every single night, you go out there and win the majority of your games. If you beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and then win at a high clip at home, you will win 45 games guaranteed. I'm talking beat just the teams you supposed beat the bottom three in each, the bottom three or four in each, like, so 10 teams make it. There's 16 teams. Oh no, what was it? 15 teams in each in each conference. The bottom five, if you just ransack those in each conference, and then you win at a clip at home, and then you split on the road half and half, you'll be fine. You'll win 45 games at least. You'll be okay. So I think they'll be okay from that standpoint because they're just going to run. And I like that of a basketball team. I think, again, the question is, what's it like when the game slows down? And then I think Giannis is going to play a big part in it as far as what does his play style look like? Does he trust his teammates? And are they gonna hit shots? And I hope the ball has really got to pop and not stick. They said the right things. I think Doc Rivers has said the right things about this basketball team, but they're gonna have to execute it when the time comes.
Yeah, I thought Chris Livingston looked good in that second half of that fourth quarter too, man. He made some good basketball plays. I think the biggest thing on the key to this roster is going to be the final couple spots that are there. You got a lot of guys that are hooping right now. I saw Maddie say that we finally got to admit that we were wrong about Kyle Kuzma, and I feel like you still don't understand it. We almost a year and a half into this now, Maddie. It was never about how many times we got to say no one wanted to trade for Kyle Kuzma. But the whole thing of getting behind someone that wears the same jersey of the team that you root for, that's what it's about. So guess what? I hope Kuz does great this year, and I hope he figures himself out. He's a career 15-point-a-game guy. So there's some talent in there somewhere, and I hope he finds it. But are we wrong about it? I don't think so. I mean, we're still back to the same thing. And I mean, I hope at some point we can finally get to the point where we can all realize as Bucks fans that Chris Middleton did not garner what we valued him for as Bucks fans. And this last time I'm going to say it. So I'm glad we got into it in the preseason because I'm not going to say it anymore. Like, I'm going to root for Kuzma for this entire year, and I'm going to keep rooting for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, no, I said Tish says it right. It was about the money, not about Kuz. And again, Maddie, I appreciate the conversation, Maddie. We've talked about this at length about Kyle Kuzma. You will not find on the show prior to the trade where anybody, me, JT, Chris, anybody was like, hey, you know who would really help this roster? Kyle Kuzma. Nobody was begging for Kyle Kuzma. Like, again, for the 1,000th time, nobody was begging for Kyle Kuzma. The entire conversation was, we've got to get off of Chris Middleton. And again, I'm looking at this roster now, and it is so much more athletic, so much more springy, so much more all that. Yes, I am still glad Chris Middleton's now on this roster. Yes, we had to get Chris Middleton off the roster. And to your point, Justin, that was it. It just so happened that was what it took to get him off of the roster. I think people think about the value and like what he's done in the past. What to say? Today's price is not yesterday's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Chris Middleton would have been valued at a lot higher yesterday than probably a year after we should have traded him. So I think that was the piece. But yeah, nobody's like, again, I hope Kuzma plays well too. I really do. So yeah, if you want to say like, what was I wrong about? I guess you could say I was wrong that Kyle Kuzma could come in and do some things offensively. But again, I'm not backing off we need to get Chris Middleton out of here. I'm not backing off on that at all.
So let me ask you a question off of that, since she took us down this track. This is the last time. Just the last time, for me at least. I never wanted to trade Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton was one of my favorites.
See, yeah, I did. I did.
I was the one out here wearing my 22 jersey backwards, yelling for him to do better.
It's true.
But I'm going to tell you one thing as a Chris Middleton fan. I think Chris Middleton is, again, one of the best Bucks of all time. And you can use the finals run on that alone by itself. However, last year, during the season and during the playoffs, Kyle Kuzma contributed more to the Milwaukee Bucks than Chris Middleton did in the, what was it, 24-25 season. That's a fact. And then when you look at their careers, once Middleton was a Wizard and Kuzma was here, it didn't change. So Maddie or anybody else still on that Middleton Kuzma stuff, like, you got to get off that and just hope that Kuz does well. And he has some intangibles. He did some things great. We're not going to sing this guy's, we're not going to throw him to the wasteland like he's absolutely garbage, because he played some good defense for us. And there was a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves where he looked decent. However,
hey, don't forget he shined that last game against Detroit too.
Was he shined the last game. There's some talent in there, and that's where Doc and his coaching staff has to bring it out of him, man.
Yeah. You just gotta hustle, man. You just gotta hustle. But yeah, like I said, I just don't think. Last thing I said, I just don't think that swap Chris with Kuz. I don't think the Bucks are getting out of the first. I think they would have ended exactly where they ended last year. I don't think any of that changes with the Dame injury and everything that went on. I just don't see it. Last thing, Justin, I don't know if we want to get into anything else about the Bucks or anything else around the league. I thought interesting that you saw LeBron James, the announcement. What you think about the Henny? What you think about the Henny of LeBron Henny? You gonna get your bottle?
I missed it.
Oh,
what happened?
Oh, he teased an announcement. People thought he was gonna retire, and he just did it. Sat down and made it. His decision to partner with Hennessy. He said,
"Oh, that's good for LeBron, man. Enjoy that Hennessy, man. You're getting up there in age. You got to get something to kind of grease some old bones up. I understand it, man. You know, I'm sure Savannah will appreciate it as well. I did have one thing we need to get to, man. Biggest free agent signing of the offseason so far, man. What about your boy Marjon Beauchamp to the Portland Trailblazers? Back with Damian Lillard again.
It's crazy. I didn't even see that. When did that happen?
It was before we did the video, me, you, and Chris.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I had no clue Marjon went to the trail. Is he on a camp deal? He ain't got a roster spot, does he?
I don't know. He just had the jersey on. I was like, okay. Oh wow. Good for him. Yeah. I think Dante got some good points in there though. My bad, not to switch, but he said if things don't go well for Kuz, we can move him at the end of the season. That's a good point, man. Like, he is a tradable asset right now. If you're looking at this roster going into next year, your two most tradable assets are Bobby Portis and, unfortunately, and I don't want to trade Bobby, but they're Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma. So, hey, man, we gotta hope.
Go ahead. I had one more. Go ahead, Justin. I had one more. Go ahead. I just thought about something. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I hope these guys can get better and just play basketball, man. I think Kuz, if you look at his career numbers, again, he was not traded from the Los Angeles Lakers because he was a bad basketball player. LeBron saw Russell Westbrook in Washington going crazy and was like, that would work better with me here in the Lakers. And you can't trade somebody for nothing. Didn't we just see that with Middleton and Kuzma? Yep. You got to give something to get something. So that's what happened with that. Kuz went to Washington. He was absolutely disinterested in the entire process. You can say that there's a lack of professionalism. Completely agree. And now he's fallen off that bike, and he's trying to get back on that bike and ride it again. And he has a lot of work to do. I mean, the thing that I love about it is one of the most influential, controversial pieces that was ever moved in Bucks history. He's out of that shadow now. So now you just got to be Kuz and hoop.
Last question, Justin. If Giannis were to leave before the let's just say it's before the season ends, after whatever, if he were to force his way out by trade, I guess my question to you is, as a Bucks fan, are you rooting for him in his next location? Are you, if you're John Horst, are you, because again, that's the other thing was he reported he wanted to go to the Knicks, and the Bucks were going to allegedly try to get him to his preferred destination. Like, what is your, how do you handle that relationship, knowing all Giannis has done for the franchise?
Thank you for your time service. I will not root for you. I don't care. I don't root for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't root for the New York Yankees now. I hope he has the best career he can possibly have outside of Milwaukee. Thank you for everything that you did. We wouldn't have a championship without you. We wouldn't have a Deer District without you. However, I need Jalen Brunson and Big Cat back. and I need 5 or 6 first round picks, but I don't need those joints to start 26, 27. No, 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 no. We're not doing that. First pick can be 20, 31, 32. I need them next 4. I don't want your picks now where Giannis will be there, and I want it to be back when you'll be a ping pong
Well,
team.
the Knicks don't even the Knicks don't have any picks till the Knicks don't have another pick until like 2032. I think it's like 2031, 2032. And they can use, and again, if you remember now, you can't trade consecutive picks. So it had to be like a 2031 and then a 2032 swap. Yeah, they don't have a lot going on. And I think one of the picks is going to go, the pick this next year, their number one pick in the next couple years or something like that goes to Washington. If Washington's bad, Washington takes that pick and then it turns into like 2 seconds. So yeah, they have a rough go on picks again, all because of Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, so then I mean, why am I trading you to the Knicks?
I
I'm not
wouldn't. Yeah, it
trading you
doesn't make
where you
sense.
want to go.
Doesn't make sense.
If you want out, I'm gonna do the best decision for us. Just like remember, and I hate to keep crossing these lines of sports, but when Favre wanted out, he wanted to go to the Vikings, he wanted to go here. We sent him to the Jets because that gave us the best opportunity for a pick. I mean,
and the team that has the picks that we're talking about is really, if you want to keep East Coast, is Brooklyn. Brooklyn has those picks from Mikal Bridges. They've set themselves up to where if they want pick wise, that's what they could do.
yeah, I don't know if I trade him. Even in Brooklyn, I'll take those picks for the next couple of years there because I'm not certain without 2 or 3 other moves if Giannis can carry Brooklyn by himself anymore. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think he needs a collective effort. There's been a lot of wear and tear put on that body in the last 13 years. And you're playing Olympic ball now. Let me not piss some people off, but it's just there's no rest for that body to truthfully recuperate. You've had a lot of lower body injuries and stuff like that. So I think honestly for Giannis, this situation puts him in the best possible spot he can be in. You got a bunch of young guys that are going to come out, they go hoop every night, and you got, like you said, Gary Trent Jr. is already diving on the floor. It's a meaningless basketball game. That means he only knows one way, and that's up. Hey, man, but to answer your question, man, I don't care what team you play for. I don't care where you got your start. I can't root for you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to root against you. And I'll see what you're doing, and I say, "Oh, that's nice, that's great," but it's not for the Bucks, so I don't care.
As interesting, you mentioned a couple of things. Interesting, you mentioned number one that you don't think Giannis can carry roster in Brooklyn. I mean, we're asking him to basically carry this team, so I just think that's interesting that's thought process there. But two, and I'm just obviously you guys know I'm a Panthers fan. The other time I'm thinking about where this took place was Cam Newton, in Carolina, and
Who's that?
you know who that is. You watch that wheel route, but Cam Newton, it was different because the Panthers as a franchise kicked him out. He didn't want to leave. And so did I find myself rooting for the Patriots and watching the Patriots on Sundays? Oh, you better believe I was rooting for Cam Newton and watching because I wasn't giving a damn about Teddy Two Gloves over in Carolina. But again, so to me, how you leave is different. If for whatever reason the Bucks were like, "Hey, we're trading Jan, we're getting Giannis out," and he didn't ask for it, that's a different story for me than and changes my perception versus if he asks out. And so if he's the one pushing this, which is again, believe what you want, if he's the one pushing these kind of buttons, then just I'm taking a step further. Not only am I not rooting for you, oh, I am rooting against you. I don't want to see you win a championship in another jersey. I hope you lose every single. I hope you. I would be again. I would hope you fall flat on your face. I wouldn't be like one of these Dame Bros who they was in here begging. They like look. I mean, absolutely. They made themselves look like absolute fools, crying about Damian Lillard every single night, all for him to go right back to Portland because it didn't work. I would be hoping that he fails at every single turn. And then, like I said, once your career is over, come on back. Hey, statue, all that kind of stuff. But while you're in competition, the only ring I want you to have is with the Milwaukee Bucks. But again, that's me. My loyalty is with the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not with Giannis. And if you force your way out, then that's a different story. Now again, if you leave after your contract ends, I probably take that middle line stance of, hey, okay, cool, all things are off. But if you force your way out in a trade, I'm not. Yeah, like I can't condone that. That's me though. That's just me.
What about the greatest Panther of all time? Did you root for him when he left the Queen City?
Oh, Smitty. Yeah, no,
No, the greatest Panther, Julius Peppers.
oh, Pep. It's interesting because Pep. It's interesting because Pep, when he first left, he went to Chicago, right?
I don't know what that means. I never heard of that team.
he
Never
was
heard
yeah,
of her.
yeah he was in Chicago first. I think Pep. I want to say Pep didn't get traded though. I think he left in free agency.
No, can we get a go pack go for Pep? I think the Cream City crossover fan would love to hear you say go pack go. That's what we love.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. But come on now. I say keep pounding. But I was cool with Pep once in Green Bay. I think originally in Chicago is whatever, but I believe he left in free agency. I believe he
Yeah.
forced his way out. It was a free agency thing, so it wasn't that big of a deal. We were losing, it wasn't all that serious. But of course, hey, like prodigal son Pep came back as well. And finished his career out in Carolina, a couple meaningless years or a year or two, whatever. So, but he did
Just
finish
like
his career in Carolina.
just like Reggie White, a couple meaningless years at the end in Carolina.
Yeah,
Everyone goes to Carolina.
Reggie was over there too.
You just go to Carolina, retire.
That's
No,
cool.
but I
Hey,
mean,
we'll take that Hall of Fame badge from him.
when oh, man. He threw me off. When you think about guys like Andrew Bogut, I mean, when he got his ring with Golden State, cool, Zaza, anybody that crossed the graces of Milwaukee
But
during
but
this
hold
time.
but even that though, Justin, it's never to see you win a ring as the third, fourth, fifth guy. Yeah, if you I'm not saying Andrew Bogut, but yeah, if you're not the reason, if you're not that's the total. Yeah, you go to if you want to be I was gonna say washed
Role
up.
player.
Yeah, if you want to be if you want to win a ring as a role player, you ring chase. Yeah, I don't mind. Go ahead. But yeah, it's different when you're the reason a team is winning a title. Yeah, that I'm not. Or if you were to do something like join like if he was to somehow, I'm just saying, try and join like a OKC or something. That I ain't with that. But yeah, go try and win it the right way. Is all. I don't want you to win it, but if you go do it, go try and win it the right way.
Yeah, we're gonna trade him though. Got to be like you mentioned. OKC, it got to be Houston. It got to be someplace where we can get some young talent, hopefully to build with and make a contender off of it. I'm not sending you to the New York Knicks, who are in, like you just mentioned, draft capital hell, salary cap hell, and helping them to win a title. Why would I help the New York Knicks,
No reason.
conference rival, win a championship? Why would I help Philadelphia? Hell, why would I help the Atlanta Hawks? You're going to the Western Conference, number one, and good riddance to you. You're gonna be hey man.
Hey, I send you to Charlotte. You go to Charlotte. I send him to Charlotte.
Oh no, they
He just said easy. You go to Charlotte. Go ahead. You can play with LaMelo.
No, we need LaMelo back.
I don't want LaMelo. I don't want LaMelo at all. He can't. He's not a winning basketball player.
It's such a point of disgust for me mentioning Giannis play anywhere else. I mean, I get we got to do it. It baffles my mind, man. Like, and now he plays out his contract. That's completely different. I'm still not gonna root for you, but I'd agree with you. But if you force your way out, I think it makes it a little bit different, man. But we'll see, man. It's just so many layers with this stuff. I really feel like Shams should just take the L. Hopefully what we're talking about is a guy that, I mean, think about it. He was valued in his sessions with Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
I know Kobe had a lot of stuff in the air about leaving and going to the Bulls, going here, going there. But at the end of the day, Kobe never went anywhere. And I think he valued that. So hopefully that's the type of stuff we see. I think he values a lot of the Dirk Nowitzki stuff that Dirk did in Dallas. Go a living legend, be the greatest player in the history of that franchise, retire. And the thing about it is, if you do it that way, your family is going to be good forever. Do it the other way, I think you taint the legacy a little bit, man.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Hopefully, all this is a moot point. I think Giannis is gonna be here through the end of the year. So, again, we'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll have to re up and see how the Bucks finish. But I think he'll be here through the entirety of the year. That's it. That's all we got today. Good stuff, Justin. I won't hold you up any longer. Any final words on this before we jump out here again? Appreciate everybody in the chat. Dante, Tish, Todd, D'Angelo, you guys, and many more. Maddie and Taylor, who joined us tonight. Again, impromptu session just coming on after some news today. Again, I think we'll be on Thursday night. Hold on, let me just see, since I'm here, who the Bucks got.
Thursday. Why are you doing that?
I'll take your final words.
Hey, my last thoughts is Giannis will be here for the entire year because he got to be here for that parade in the summer.
There you go.
He ain't going nowhere. And hey, Maddie, I want you to come back when Kyle Kuzma start hooping now. Don't just come here when he play bad. You got to keep it consistent, sweetie.
Bucks Pistons Thursday night. I think we'll be on for that one. And again, we'll be looking forward to it. Season is right around the corner, Justin. So looking forward to joining all of you guys every single night right here on the best Milwaukee Bucks post-game show in all the land. It's the Cream City Crossover. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Group Trickles Third.
Justin, go Brewers!
Absolutely go Brewers. And don't take no wood nickels.